Hey guys, welcome to the Frugal Life with Mercedes. Today I wanted to answer some questions that I've been getting in the comments. I get a lot of the same kind of questions over and over again, which I don't mind, but I figured I would just make a video on some of it. So I want to start with I love getting questions from you guys in the comments down below, or if you want to send comments through my email. Also, I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life with Mercedes. You can always DM me on there or make comments on posts that I make, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I also love getting video requests from you guys. I did want to say there's some video requests that I am not going to be able to do. Some of them are just like, it's not something I'm really personally interested in, or it's involving other people, and I really can't do that. So I kind of wanted to go over video requests that I've gotten that I'm not going to be able to do for you guys, and then also some kind of frequently asked questions kind of stuff. So I wanted to start with, I've been getting a lot of requests to see my husband in a video. As of right now, my husband is not interested in being in a video. He is not ashamed of my dumpster diving, my frugal ways, or anything like that. He's very supportive of my channel, but him and I see it as, this is my channel, it's not his channel. There are, a channel that I follow a lot is Frickin' Frugal. And it's Amy and her husband. I believe his name is Dwayne. And it was her channel, but then her husband started being in it and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But that's like the direction that her channel took. And I really want my channel to be about me. And I'm not saying that my husband or other people will never be in my videos. It's just at this point, that's not what's going on. One of my sisters actually was in one of my videos for like a minute. But my family is the same way. They're very supportive of me having a YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff, but they're not really interested at this moment to be in the videos. Not everybody wants to be on YouTube. Not everybody wants to put their life out there, their face out there. And I have to completely respect that, because if my husband had a YouTube channel and I didn't want to be in his videos, he would have to respect that. So at present, he has said that he's not ready at this time to be in my videos, and so I'm respecting that. So I really appreciate all of you guys being interested in him and what he looks like and how he feels about my frugal ways and all that kind of stuff. And I understand the curiosity. It's just at this present time, he really doesn't want to be in a video. So that's where we are in that. So I'm not saying it's never going to happen, just not at this current moment. Another thing I've been getting a lot of questions about when am I going to dumpster dive again? Why haven't I been dumpster diving? So I haven't been dumpster diving, one, just because I have so much food from dumpster diving from all those months. And I'm doing a pantry freezer challenge and all that kind of stuff. The other thing is, you guys have to keep in mind, if you've never dumpster dived, dumpster diving is a lot of work. It really and truly is a lot of work. So you go dumpster diving at night, and you guys have to keep in mind, I have a full-time job. I also volunteer at multiple places. I have a pretty full life. So then you factor in dumpster diving on top of that, and dumpster diving is a lot of work. So you have to go to the location, you have to go through all the trash, and then I find a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is amazing. But sorting through all that stuff is extremely time consuming. I'm talking about hours and hours and hours, especially with the quantities of stuff that I find. And I find that because you're dumpster diving and you're getting it for free, you're taking a lot more. And the other questions I get is I say I didn't take everything, why don't you give it to somebody? One, not everybody wants to eat dumpster food. I do, and some of you guys might, but not everyone in my life is comfortable with eating dumpster food. The other thing is, too, my family lives about a half hour away. So if I go to the dumpster and find a bunch of fruits and vegetables, I'm not always available or able to drive the half hour, or for them to drive, they have lives too. So they're not always available to drive the half hour to come and get the stuff. And then not everybody's comfortable with it, and so it's like a big thing. Another thing is too, that if you guys have watched the video that I was caught by the police, I didn't get in any trouble or anything, so feel free to watch that video. But another time I was caught by like the store manager. And again, I was not asked to leave. I actually wasn't in the dumpster. I was like pulling around and kind of getting out of my car. And there was kind of an exchange. Nothing too bad, but they just kind of were wondering why I was there. So I left. And now at that store, basically every time I've driven over there, the police are there, like circling the area. And I'm not saying that that has anything to do with me. And dumpster diving is legal. In the United States, dumpster diving is legal unless it's illegal in your specific town or county. So even though dumpster diving is legal, it is frowned upon in a lot of places. And where I live is not a very progressive place, and it is frowned upon. And when I told the police officers that it was legal, they were telling me it's not legal. So, and this is not anti-police or anything. I'm just telling you the exchange of words that I had with them. I told them this is legal. There's not a no trespassing sign. I'm not getting in the dumpster, blah, blah, blah. And again, if you guys are interested in that whole story, I have a video on that. So even though it's legal, I don't believe in tempting fate. I don't believe in antagonizing people. And so for those reasons, that's why I haven't been dumpster diving. I'm not saying I'm never going to go dumpster diving again or anything like that. The other thing is, too, I'm kind of in the process of trying to get, one of the churches that I volunteer at is in the process of starting a food pantry. So I am trying to go about getting food from certain stores in a donation capacity for these food pantries. So if I keep having interactions with the staff and with the police at those locations, then the chances of me getting donations are going to be dramatically decreased. So that's another thing that I'm working on, is I'm working on trying to get some fruits and vegetables to lower income people that we're going to be distributing food at this food pantry. And I don't really know how that's going to pan out and all that kind of stuff. So another thing that I get a lot is, I think some of you guys think that I'm a prepper because I have so much food and so much stuff. And there's nothing against prepping, but I am not a prepper. I got a question recently about do I stockpile water and different things like that. I actually don't drink bottled water except in certain situations. Like once in a while, if you guys watch my grocery hauls, I do buy flavored sparkling water once in a while as a treat. I'll get soda once in a while, but I drink a lot of tap water, to tell you the truth, or a lot of hot tea. But I kind of get the feeling that some people, based off comments, think that I'm a prepper, and I'm not. I'm not a prepper. Basically, because I'm frugal, if I see, let's say there's a can of soup, and it's usually $3, and I see it for $1, 75 cents, 50 cents, whatever. And I know for a fact that I like that soup and I'm going to eat it. Well, I'll probably buy 5 of them. Now, I don't think of that as being a prepper. That's more like, I know I will eat these 5 cans of soup so I can get them while they're on sale. Or if I hit up the discount stores or the dollar stores or something like that. So I do have a lot of food. And I do see food as security, and it gives me peace of mind, because I've been in situations where, I've talked about it before, my longtime partner left me unexpectedly. Like that was a bad situation and I had like no money. So, but I had a stockpile of personal care items and a stockpile of food, and that sustained me while I was transitioning. So I do call it my stockpile sometimes, but I am not prepping for like an apocalypse, the end of the world kind of thing. However, I do believe that war and famine and financial stuff can happen to anybody. So, no matter how secure you are in your situation, your husband could leave you tomorrow. You could lose your job. You could, an illness could happen and all your money is going towards medical bills. And I'm not saying that we should live in fear, but I don't think that there's anything wrong if you have the room, have a couple of cases of canned food under your spare bedroom bed. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I always try to tell people, don't buy food just because it's on sale or just because it's on clearance, unless it's stuff that you guys will actually eat. I see a lot of people with a lot of rice and beans, and they don't like rice and beans. So unless you got it for free or dumpster dove it or whatever, like for me personally, that doesn't make sense. So I really try to keep stuff that I'll actually use, that I use on a regular basis, and I just get at a discount. So I am not a prepper. However, I love to watch YouTube channels of preppers. I like Doomsday Preppers, the TV show. I do believe in being prepared for certain situations, but I don't believe in being living in fear. That's something that I just can't subscribe to. Or, at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to predict if the world ends, when the world ends, how it's going to end. Even if you look from a biblical standpoint, you just like, we don't know. And if you look at it from a non-biblical standpoint, anything, and I don't want this channel to be political, but I'm just saying anything politically could happen in any country, all those kind of things. So, but the best thing to do is to save your money. So instead of buying a bunch of stuff that you don't even like or don't even use, just because it's a good deal, you could save that money instead, or actually buy stuff that you really like. And I'm not saying that about all preppers. I'm not trying to generalize. I'm just saying I personally am not a prepper. Another thing that goes along with that, I get a lot of suggestions and a lot of comments about getting a dehydrator. I don't like dehydrated food. I've bought it, I've prepared it, I've eaten it. I just personally do not like dehydrated food. So for me, even if I got it for $5 at a thrift store, for me it doesn't make sense to buy a dehydrator to then dehydrate food that I'm not even gonna like. Because again, that for me, that just doesn't make sense. So if you guys have a dehydrator and it works for you, I think that's amazing. But you have to remember that everything that works for you is not going to work for the next person. That the same thing goes with canning. I actually have canned before. I actually am known for my jelly. I make amazing jellies and jams. And I've made like stewed tomatoes and different things like that, and that's all water bath canning and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not afraid of a canner. Like, I know some people have a big fear of canners, and I don't. It's just, you have to remember, it's just my husband and I. And he doesn't like that kind of stuff. He doesn't like jelly, he doesn't like jam, he doesn't like tomatoes, he doesn't like soups, he doesn't like stews, he doesn't like chilies. So anything that I would can would just be for myself. And for me, and also I'm not a good cook, so even if you follow a recipe, I have a few things that I cook all the time and that I've perfected, but I just would hate to spend all the time, money, and resources in making something and then you can it and nobody's going to eat it, because that's not frugal or sustainable or a good use of resources. So again, if you enjoy canning, which I actually really do enjoy canning, I think I really do like it, even though it's a lot of work, it doesn't make sense for every person in every situation. Um, so there's that. And again, it's not that I appreciate everyone's suggestions and all that. It's just like I get those comments a lot, like, why don't you have a dehydrator? Why don't you can? All this stuff. And it's just because it simply doesn't work into my lifestyle, my scenario, all that kind of stuff. What else have I been? Another thing is about the food pantry. So the food pantry I volunteer at is ran by a church, and I've known some of those people for many, many years, and my parents have gone to that church. That church has been around for about 10 years. My parents have been going since almost the beginning. So those people have known me a really long time. And so that's how I get that food, is from volunteering. And the other thing is too, like, I get a lot of comments, not mean ones, but just comments that, like, in the state that they live or where they live, you have to qualify. For this particular food pantry, there is no qualification. Literally anybody could show up. All you have to do is give them your name, your address, and how many are in your family. They don't ask for an electric bill. They don't ask for your income. They don't ask for, it's none of that. It's, my name is John Smith. I live at blah, 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 blah. And there's 3 of us. And that's it. And then each household gets the same thing. So if you go as a single person, you get the same thing as somebody with a husband and wife and 5 kids get. However, we know which people have, like, there's a few families that have a bunch of kids, or there's a lady that she is raising her grandkids, and there's a bunch of them, and so we always give her extra. But basically all the boxes are the same, all that kind of stuff, and there is no, there's no qualifying for that. And my understanding too is the food banks, at least where I live, there is no qualification process. It's just name, address, and how many in the household. They're not, because I've seen other people on YouTube that are like, oh, well, I get this because I had to show them my electric bill and my pay stub and all this kind of stuff. And all the ones I've ever volunteered at, they don't require that. And the other church that I volunteer at and do the community dinner soup kitchen thing once a month, that's open to everybody. We've had people that were homeless. We've had people that weren't homeless. We don't ask. It's just, here's a hot meal and take it and sit and chat with us and all that kind of stuff. And then the food pantry that they're starting, again, they don't ask that kind of stuff. And because the food pantry is still just starting, they don't even ask people's names, addresses, or anything like that, because it's considered like emergency food, even though it's technically not. So basically there's like a piece of paper that they fill out, because some of the people there are like, that church does like a hotel, like a motel ministry. So there's like a lot of people that are like not exactly homeless, but they're like living in motel kind of situation. And so they only have access to like a microwave. So then on the piece of paper, there's like categories, like I have access to a full kitchen. I have access to a partial kitchen. I have access to no kitchen or just a microwave. And like you check off which applies to you. So then if you only have access to a microwave, we're going to give you like cans of soup and Easy Mac and different things like that, versus if you need that food but you have access to a full kitchen, you're just low income or going through a hard time or something like that. So yeah, so those are some questions that I get quite frequently, and some video. Oh, the other video request is I get a lot of video requests to shop with me, and to tell you the truth, I really don't like doing that. I don't watch videos on YouTube that are shop with me videos. It's not really interesting to me at all. I would much rather see the Dollar Tree haul rather than see them at the Dollar Tree. And again, that's just a personal preference. All the stores near me actually have strict policies of no filming. whatsoever. Like, they don't want you filming. Like, I've had friends that they were video chatting with somebody and they had employees come up to them and were like, "You're not filming in here, are you?" Like, they just don't want you filming. So for one of it, it's like, it's against store policy in basically every store that's near me. Two, it's just not really my thing. I really don't want to post videos that I wouldn't personally watch. I'm trying to keep the channel authentic to myself. And the other thing is, to tell you the truth, I don't even bring my phone into stores most of the time. I film using my phone at this current time. Maybe eventually I will get a camera, hopefully. But for right now, this is what works for me. And because I am frugal, it's not really in the budget to get a camera, and this works just fine. So it's not that I really appreciate everyone giving their suggestions, and I appreciate everyone, I love video requests. I just don't want to feel like, I don't want to leave you guys hanging, like, why isn't she doing shop with me videos and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I simply, most of the time, do not take my phone into a store. So I did a couple of shop with me videos, but they were just like a few little clips. But if you guys are interested in, like, if what you're looking for is more like price of items, I would be willing to, like, take pictures of prices of items, like at the Walmart or the Martins or the wherever, and then post them on my Instagram. That might be like a compromise, but at this moment, I don't see myself doing a shop with me video because it's just not my style. But if you guys have video requests, please leave them, and if I can't do them, I'll just be honest with you guys and tell you why I can't do them. So, I just don't want to leave you guys hanging because I appreciate each and every one of you. So please consider subscribing to this channel. Comment down below. Let's get to know each other. If you have an Instagram, find me on Instagram. And thank you guys so much. And until next time, bye.